And I want to hit on this real quick because, Baldy brought it up. And I actually have a strong feeling on this. Everyone's excited about this week. But I have to say, the last two openers that were here in Chicago against the Packers, there was more hype around those. I think there was more hype last year going into that season. Not necessarily about the expectations for the whole season, as much as it was just Packers, week one. We all felt it at the tailgate. And then nothing to me compares in the years I've covered this team to the anticipation in 2019.
Yep.
Coming off the 12-4 season when they had it was the NFL opener. And the NFL moved their own things to make that be in the 100th season, the opener. Bears, Packers, not the defending Super Bowl champion. And this city was lit up that entire week leading up to that game, and then they scored 3 points.
Right. So I agree with everything you're saying there. 2018 or 2019 and last year, it was a fever pitch at this point for Bears fans. And I think the reason why was what you just said, like the anticipation of the Bears had just come off a playoff, trip in 2018. And then last year, there was so much question around who Jordan Love and the Packers were going to be in the post-Aaron Rodgers era.
Everyone thought the Bears were winning that game.
And even there was Packers people that cover the Packers that were conceding that they thought the Bears at that time, week one, had the better quarterback.
Yeah.
Because there was uncertainty, and Justin had shown so much the year before. So both years, we thought this was finally the moment the Bears were going to be better than the Packers. And now they line up week one. Last year, both times it was, at Soldier Field. So there's that home field advantage. And so this year, it's a dialed down opponent. Statistically, it is their highest of all their win probability. We did this earlier in the offseason. The Titans game was their highest chance for win probability, and it ended up being their week one opponent. So it's this guarded optimism, this cautious optimism, as you framed it earlier, Hogue. Like, fans, I think, are certainly as excited as they've ever been about the potential of this team, but because we've been burned so many times, we're not overcooking the ham like we normally do. And I feel a lot of Bears fans kind of trying to temper it down as best they can, and then also being very cognizant of the ability of the Titans and almost talking them up a little more than I think they deserve.
Well, yes, there was more hype back in the day, but this is the first year that this early in the week, I went on my Circus Sports app and bet the Bears yesterday during the show. So, little tease.
You did that during the show?
I did. I saw the line move, and I'm like, you know what?
What did it move to?
Well, down 3.5.
From what?
4.
Was 4?
I've even seen it at 4.5.
Yeah, I thought it was at 4.5.
It's moved quite a bit.
So it's moving towards the Titans.
And there's money on Tennessee.
And you're zagging.
Yeah. Everyone's betting on the Titans. The public's always wrong. Bears are beating the Titans. Let's freaking go. I'm in.
I think you're the public.
I'm not the public. The public.
You are the public.
You're the public. Now you're the public.
Okay, I'm not the public because the public is betting on Tennessee. But
Well, it just means the Bears are going to win by 4.
That's fine. Whatever. I don't care. I just win the game. Go be 1-0. I think as we build the hype here, Hogan, we wait for Nick. I think it's time to do a compare and contrast as who's done it better. Because I think one of the major stories of the offseason, this is in the rundown, one of the major stories of the offseason was the transformation of Matt Eberflus. His hair, his look, his, everything that Flus has done, right? Going from, let's call it, learning on the job 3-14, 7-10 Flus to the now fully coiffed
next gen
Flus. I mean, he's done a lot. But, I'm going into my third year too.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's getting worse.
You think it's getting worse?
No, I just like making jokes.
So, I mean, I think that I've actually, if you look at the Flus's transformation compared to my transformation, I mean, look at what I used to be and look at where I am now. That was a young, fresh, understated Carm.
You look more in shape.
Kind of in shape, but buttoned up, to the now flowing, easygoing, sage, know-all Carm. And if you look at where the Flus has come from, I mean, he was kind of a grizzled, kind of angry, just didn't know if he could do the gig, stuttering guy in his press conferences, Flus, trying to gather the team, figure out his quarterback, to the now beekeeping, buzzing the tower, 3 things that he cares about, bonding with Caleb. I mean, look at that guy. He's come a long way, but I honestly,
the only thing I see there is that you need to go see Flus's barber.
I think my look has transformed.
All you've done is grow out your hair.
That's a big deal.
You don't have a beard
and gain a few pounds.
You don't have a fade.
I've gotten fatter. I put on like 6 pounds.
Yeah, and I've lost like 60 pounds in the last 2 years.
Yeah, no, I looked at some of your old stuff. You've come a long way, buddy.
Yeah, we're doing it.
We're doing it.
We're getting better. Flus is getting better. So, back to circle of the wagons here. You're
not going to give a vote? Who's come further?
Who's come further? That's a tough one because I still have a lot of questions about both of you.
Hogue?
What's the question I was dealing with?
Who's come further,
stuff.
Flus or
Who's
this idiot?
Who's come further, me or Flus?
In the last 3 years?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to entertain that question. It's like asking me. I don't know what it's like asking me. It's like asking me which team has gotten better in the last 3 years, the Bears or the Carolina Panthers. That's the equivalent of that question.
I might go full Jack Nicholson. I want answers right now. I want to.
All right, but to circle this back,
you can't handle the truth.
What I think is interesting about the hype, we had Adam Amin on yesterday, who's going to be calling the game, and he talked about how real it does feel real with Caleb Williams. Hogue, you've talked about this several times. It feels like even a lot of the players are confirming this optimism that we have and this belief that we will see it when the lights come on. But to your point, and I know this one rang off a bell for you, Carm, was Jalen Johnson's quote the other day when he spoke to the media. And I thought it was a pretty strong quote. Jalen Johnson said, for me, I'm done buying into the hype, honestly. I feel like I've said it plenty of times. I've had some pretty good rosters and plenty of talented people in these locker rooms, sometimes where, oh, yeah, this is our year. This is our year. So, everything we have in this locker room sounds good. It seems good, but I've seen it, and at the end of the day, none of that matters. What matters is what we're going to do this weekend and from every Sunday or Monday or whatever game it is. That's when it matters. So, the preseason hype for me doesn't move me. Caleb, everybody, we all have to come in here and get to work. Just top to bottom, myself, new contract year, that don't mean nothing no more. We're going to come in here. We got to go to work. I love that entire quote by Jalen Johnson because that, like, at the hype is real, but I like that there's still even a player on the team who's really starting to show himself as a true leader in this locker room is like, that's all cool. Time to kick some ass on Sunday.
Yeah. I love Jalen Johnson. That was amazing, by the way. That whole segment there was we had like a third of the quote up there, and you started up here
because there's the longer quote's better to me.
I know. I get it. Listen, he went full. We were gonna play it, but we just pulled the quote out. Listen,
I just read it, which was so much better.
It was great. Jalen Johnson is real, and he's honest, and he doesn't care about what anyone's saying. Are we gonna win on Sunday or not? Are we gonna win or not? I don't like you guys.
He cares.
You think he cares what people are saying? I don't think he really does.
He's literally motivated right now about not being in the top 100.
Jalen walked into training camp and was like ready to. Jalen Johnson walked into training camp day one and was like, "I'm gonna lock everyone up." So he was locked in at mini camp.
He cares what people.
We're parsing around here. I'm saying he doesn't really care what people are saying, whether the Bears are are good or not.
And I know, I just want to clarify from Eric Bochanton, did Hogue just call Carm the Carolina Panthers?
Yes, he did.
That's exactly what I said.
No, he did.
We all silly like the mayor.